And good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning into Good Things Utah. Glad you are watching on this Thursday. We're on the big holiday countdown, New Year's Eve, just days away. And everything you need to celebrate is coming up on the show today, from the food to the drinks to the spot you can go right here at the Gateway.
And to the sparkles, you brought the glitz. I love the shine. It makes me very excited.
I just was
for
feeling
New
it
Year's.
this morning. I woke up hoping that my daughter, who's here from New York, would also wake up and be on time for the show today.
She just walked in.
She just walked in. Because, I mean, it's school break, right? So she's not getting up at this time right now.
No, it's sleeping time.
A lot of us are not getting up at this time right now.
I hope she's staying out late. This is the time, right? My kids last night asked me, can we stay up till midnight? I said, maybe 11. So I hope they're sleeping
Okay, so wait,
at home.
for New Year's Eve, you let them stay up till midnight, or will you put them to bed early?
I do. When they were a little younger, we would do the 9 o'clock, the New York countdown, and we would watch the ball drop, and then I would put them to bed.
Can they all do it, though? Like, even the littlest?
You know what?
Can she do it?
She can hang with her older siblings just because they are older and she wants to be like them. She'll
I don't know if Charlie has ever stayed up that late. I think his latest, he's probably watching right now. Have you, Char? I think it's maybe 11, close to 11.
See,
which for 6 years old, that's late. That's late.
Yeah.
The hard thing
is
is
hang till midnight.
That New Year's Day, you're dealing with a grumpy child,
Grumpy?
right?
They're acting very grumpy.
They are, and that's how my kids have been acting this whole break, grumpy. So they need to fix
You're
that.
off schedule, right?
It is true. Okay, you guys, but with New Year's coming up, and speaking of kids, let's talk about goal setting. We've talked a little bit about vision boards and how we love them. We might do a little vision board party, but with kids, I think it's really important to teach them to set goals when they're young, starting when they're little. So I'm curious. Your girls are now older. Was this something you guys did? Did you guys ever talk about New Year's resolutions or goal setting at the beginning of the year?
I told you that I didn't do vision boards until 3 years ago. I thought that was hocus pocus. I thought it was ridiculous.
We
now
talked about
it
it
on the show.
What do you have to say?
I put a vision board in my closet, and I have slowly checked off each thing on the board.
And because you have done it and you swear by it, this is my year that I want to begin. I've thought a lot about it because same as you, and I don't know that I think it was as woo-woo a little bit. I just thought I don't know. But for you to say that you tried it because you're more skeptical and logical, and I think I'm a little bit like that too.
There's something about being a journalist that you just, everything anyone says, you go, I want to hear both sides of that argument, and I want to know the facts. And that's how I felt about it. And I think it's that top of mind. You're looking at it, you're visualizing it, and then you make it happen.
I mean, it's constantly there, right? So whether you're manifesting it, whether it's manifestation or you're actually creating it, it's happening.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. So I think with the kids, this is a way you can also do vision boards with the kids. You can set them down. But I love this article because she said, don't have them set a goal that you want them to set. Be sure to listen to them and ask them, what do they want to set? And if they're having a hard time, she said, instead of pushing your child to set the goal, help them reach the goal that they want, and what's something that you wish you would achieve. So you can ask your child, you can ask Char, what's something you want to achieve this year with basketball?
I like that so much because if you're the one setting the goal for them, it's probably not a fun one.
Right, cleaning your room every day.
Right, but if it's them saying that he does want to get, more practice or crush a certain basketball goal, then that's cool, that's fun. So fun to work towards.
Exactly, asking them that question and then giving them the option to answer. Also, what's a challenge that you would feel very proud to overcome this year? So maybe they're struggling at school. And this goes for all ages, right? Natalie, going to college right now.
What's your challenge?
Yes.
Right.
What is something
you going to overcome it?
Help your child brainstorm one major goal that they would like to achieve. And then also they said, discuss the purpose of your child's goal. So they need to know their why. It's really important for them to understand why they're doing it. Break the big goal into smaller steps. It can be overwhelming for us as adults, let alone children, right?
Well, that's like those New Year's resolutions that are too big.
Yes.
And then you just drop off the bandwagon like week 3 of January.
Too big or maybe vague. I think small and specific is the key.
So let's take the basketball goal, for instance, right? Let's say he wants to get his shooting average up. So maybe let's practice every day or 3 times a week for however long, 20 minutes, right? But kind of breaking it down for them.
Instead of saying, I just want to be a better basketball player.
Right.
Yes.
Because that's vague.
Right.
Then you know what you're doing.
And the last one is brainstorm potential obstacles. Go over the obstacles that might come up for them and let them know that's okay and that's part of it, but push through. And at the end of the year, be sure to celebrate what they did do.
Like the achievements.
Yes.
The wins.
And look back, because I think sometimes we forget the goals that we did set, and we forget to see that although it's been a long time, we did accomplish those things.
You know what else I've been thinking about with going into this new year? Not only do I want to do the vision board, but a while ago we talked about how some people do a jar. They start this on New Year's Day.
Oh, I like that.
And each day you write down something good that happened.
Like a word or a sentence?
Either. Maybe it's an experience. Maybe you write a word. Maybe it is a couple sentences that day. It can be whatever it is that happened. But then the end of the year, you can dump them all out. On the 31st, you can go through and remind yourself of the good things that did happen and what you did accomplish, because you do forget.
Don't you think it helps your mindset?
Dina,
it switches you from the negative to the positive.
Yes.
I've never heard of that, and I love that
Awesome.
idea, because that's an easy, quick, that would take 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then throw it in, but at the end of the year, how fun.
What a celebration. Okay, so Nishi, we're just talking about this limbo that we're in before everybody goes back to school. We're like, what day is it? Where are we? When does school start?
Should I get out of my jammies?
What's
Should
my
I not
name?
today?
Time? What even is life right now? And it's a weird time. So why is it after this little sluggish period happens, kids go back to school, and it's just hard for them? It's not the same kind of excitement as maybe when school starts in the summer. So what can we do to get them excited? We have to acknowledge that it's rough. It's rough to go back. They've been with their toys. They've been sleeping in. And now it's time to get back on schedule. So this mom has some fun things that she'll do to get them excited again. She'll do a first day of school photo booth, and she'll give them like silly props and costumes, and they'll do that getting ready to go back to school. Or she says this one is really a winner every time. She'll let them have a junk food breakfast on that first day back to school.
They get to choose whether it's cookies. Sorry, teachers, they're going to be a little sugared
That's true.
out.
They're hopped up.
But they're at school,
On
so we're
sugar.
celebrating.
She'll give them a sprinkled donut and a Capri Sun. And she says usually donuts are reserved for very special occasions, but on this day,
Do you know what I wanted?
You can
always
do
was
it.
a Pop-Tart. And we never, ever were allowed to have it. Like, I just wanted that
Are
frosting
you
on the Pop-Tart.
the cinnamon Pop-Tart? Are you talking, or are you talking the strawberry?
I would have taken any
I love
Pop-Tart.
the cinnamon one.
But the cinnamon one's delicious.
You don't even need to warm that up for me. I would
No,
like
I
it
agree.
just out of the package. Okay, I want to ask you though, with your girls being older, do they experience this? Because I know our kids do, going back
it's
to
hard.
school.
I think transitions are always hard. Do you remember year-round school? Anyone remember when you put your kids in year-round school?
wait, does that still exist?
Not that I know of.
Maybe in other states?
Email us and let us know. But when my kids were little, that was the thing. And there were 12 first days of school.
I forgot that was a thing. And I remember being little, I was not in year round, and hearing, about this thing called year round, and I thought that sounded
But if
so
you're
horrifying.
good at transitioning, then it was great. But the kids that first day came up all the time, and that was rough for them to start over and think of that mindset and that back in the schedule and out of the schedule and back. We struggled with it.
It's a thing. Even how much my Stella loves dance. She will go to dance first, and you don't have to ask her twice, right? But every time we do these breaks, that first day going back, and I now know, I tell myself, okay, this first day is going to be hard. That's when the anxiety hits a little bit, and it's kind of, they give me pushback on those things, and I have to remember, just push them through.
Well, you get out of the habit.
It's also exciting. It's exciting to start a new year and exciting to finish up the term or semester or whatever you're doing and start a new one. So it's back to that mindset.
And I think it's just getting over the initial first day or two. And then you're back in your routine, you're seeing your friends again, you're doing your thing, and then it's okay. And I think as you get older too, you have more, willpower to get up and do things and make things happen. But when you're little, it's rough for a minute.
Yes.
The last one that she said, and I like this one too, that Saturday after they start school, just have a day of nothing. Just another day to just kind of relax, recharge, do nothing.
I like that. And no chores, right? Because that's hard for me. I'm always like, do your chore list, and then you can play.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? This last one, we'll go through it quick, but talking about anxiety getting back to school, I was wondering, with children who do experience anxiety, how far as a mother should we be pushing them? How far should we take it? Should we, when they say, Mom, I don't want to go to my friend's house today, I don't want to go, do we look into that and think, is this because you're feeling anxious about it and you actually would really enjoy being at your friend's house today? So I'm not gonna have you go, or do we push them to go? I'm curious what you think.
Natalie's sitting there watching, because she would say, my 20-year-old, that I would have her go. And
You'd have her go.
And I used to go with her. And I think, I don't know if we used the word anxious 20 years ago. I don't think we used the word, not when I was growing up, and I don't think when Natalie was growing up, that word was as common as it is now. I would say she's shy. I would say socially we have to push you a little bit because I want you to be out there with your friends. And do I know if that was the right thing to do? I think every parent does what they think is best, but I remember sitting at birthday parties and trying to sneak out.
Yes.
Because I wanted her to go to the party, but she didn't want to go alone.
Well, I do think it's interesting now because we have all the language for it. We can say anxiety, we can say all of those things. My issue when I was little, I remember this, was I was so sensitive. I feel everything so deeply. And my mom sometimes would be like, "You're so sensitive, stop being so sensitive." We would never say those things. Now
no.
we nurture that, we work through that, we talk about it, but what is the right thing?
You know what? One thing the article said, the woman said, if someone could have explained to me when I was young what was actually going on in my body, feeling anxious, feeling your tummy getting sick, breathing quicker, racing heart, those things are normal and everyone feels them at certain times, but babe, I'm going to help you through this.
When you can
we're going to
label
help
them,
you go.
don't you think it's different and put a word on them? This is what you're feeling.
Yes.
And I understand.
And also sitting with them in that. This is okay, but I think you're really going to enjoy it at your friend's house. You're going to enjoy girls' camp. You're going to enjoy summer camp. Let's do this and help
What's so
them.
interesting is that made you have anxiety, and now you're on a stage. That's what you chose, to be in front of people all the time.
Yeah.
Does that surprise you?
No, I mean, I think for me it was just that everything was felt so deeply. So I feel like that was perfect to be on stage because that's where I could get out my feelings and I could cry or be mad or all of the things. But it can get in the way when you don't know how to process those emotions and you're just an itsy bit.
When you don't have words for it.
Yes.
Right? It's very
If
important.
you need help, we'll post that article after the show. Take